Good morning, everyone, and welcome to today's presentation on single-subject experimental designs in behavioral research. We'll be diving into four key designs: reversal, multiple baseline, multi-element, and changing criterion. Throughout our discussion, we'll explore their definitions, highlight their advantages, and also consider some of their limitations. I'm excited to take this journey with you as we uncover how these designs are applied and the important role they play in behavioral studies. Let's talk about four key types of single subject experimental designs. First, the reversal design. This one involves alternating between a baseline phase, where no intervention is applied, and an intervention phase. By comparing behavior during these phases, we can clearly see the causal effect of the intervention. Next is the multiple baseline design. Instead of withdrawing treatment, interventions begin at different times across various behaviors, settings, or subjects. This staggering helps show control by demonstrating that changes in behavior align with the start of the intervention. Then we have the multi-element design, which rapidly switches between different interventions. This quick succession allows us to directly compare the effects of each intervention on the target behavior within the same time frame. Finally, the changing criterion design gradually adjusts intervention goals in steps. This approach helps us see if behavior changes track closely with each shift in criterion, providing strong evidence of experimental control over behavior shaping. Each design offers unique advantages depending on the research question and practical constraints. Now, let's look at the pros and cons of the reversal design. On the plus side, this design provides strong causal evidence because it repeatedly shows changes during both the baseline and intervention phases, making it clear how the intervention impacts behavior. The data patterns it produces are straightforward and easy to interpret, which helps in identifying functional relationships. However, there are some drawbacks. Ethically, it can be problematic to withdraw treatments that are working effectively just to observe the reversal, especially if that could cause harm. Additionally, this design isn't suitable for behaviors that are irreversible or cause lasting changes, which limits where and how it can be applied. So, while powerful, the reversal design needs to be used carefully and in the right context. When we look at the advantages of the multiple baseline design, one of the biggest benefits is that it avoids the need to withdraw treatment. This is important because it addresses ethical concerns, especially when stopping an intervention could be harmful or inappropriate. It's also a great choice when dealing with irreversible behaviors or situations where pulling back the treatment just isn't practical. On the other hand, there are some limitations to keep in mind. Implementing this design often takes more time since the interventions have to be introduced in a staggered way across different baselines. Additionally, setting it up and analyzing the data can get quite complex, especially when multiple baselines span across different subjects, settings, or target behaviors. So, while it offers important ethical and practical advantages, it does require careful planning and more time to execute effectively. Here we have a summary and comparison of four common research designs. Starting with the reversal design, its key feature is a withdrawal of the intervention, making it best suited for situations where pulling back the treatment is ethical. However, it's important to note the ethical issues involved and that it's not appropriate for behaviors that can't be reversed. Next, the multiple baseline design involves staggered intervention onsets across different subjects or settings. This design is ideal when withdrawing the intervention isn't ethical or practical. The downside is that it requires more time and can be more complex to manage. The multi-element design uses rapid alternations between treatments, which allows for quick comparisons. While this is efficient, it carries the risk of carryover effects, where one treatment influences response to the next. Finally, the changing criterion design involves gradually changing the criteria to shape behavior in steps. This is particularly useful for stepwise behavior changes, but its limitation is that it's not effective for behaviors needing more immediate or large shifts. Overall, each design has its strengths and specific context where it shines, but also some limitations to consider when choosing the best approach.